Hey interwebs, Joeypals here. A while back I posted a video about my top 10 favorite non-Royals Fire Emblem Fates characters, which quickly became the most popular video on my channel. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching so far. For today's video, I'd like to revisit Fire Emblem Fates, but look at the other side of a coin that I threw up in the video I mentioned at the start of this one. So for today, we'll be looking at my personal top 10 Fire Emblem Fates Royal characters. The characters we'll be listing today have to be both playable and an adult, so characters such as Shiro and King Garen are both excluded. If you don't agree with my opinion, that's fine. It's only natural that opinions differ, so please leave your personal top 10 down in the comments. With all that out of the way, let's jump into the countdown. At number 10, we have Sakura. We had to start the countdown somewhere, and unfortunately the timid little Hoshidan sister kicks off the countdown. That's not to say I hate Sakura though, as she ended up being a much more able healer than Elise for me in both Revelations and Birthright. However, personality-wise, when you put her in the same category as Lobster Lord and Butthurt Takumi, she ends up coming in last place. Where Sakura stands strong though is on the battlefield, where strong magic growths turn into a great asset when she finally promotes into either a priestess, her bad option, or an Onmyoji. I personally transformed her into an Onmyoji, and after leveling her up enough and giving her a forged scroll, she was able to dish out damage almost as effectively as Effie. Not bad for a scared little girl. I personally love Sakura, but in a game massively driven by character personality, she unfortunately has to take number 10 on this list. Number 9 goes to Azura. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore the song Lost in Thoughts All Alone by Raina Strober, and would love to be able to match her tonality and notes. However, I unfortunately suffer the same problem as Shigura does. I'm kind of a guy, so hitting those notes are very difficult. Anyway, like I said with Sakura, Fire Emblem Fates is a game massively driven by character personality. As cool as Azura is, I just can't stand her in terms of this aspect. She has this very strong poor me thing to her, and that's the type of personality I can't really handle because it just screams, I can't take care of myself. On the battlefield, this also rings true. She may have a 60% strength growth and 80% speed growth, but she falls into a similar boat Bakaze did. Unless I give her a killer lance, I can never seem to do any meaningful damage to the enemy, while she can get taken out almost as easily as Nyx due to her low defensive growths. So why is she above Sakura? Well, besides the song, she does have a very strong sense of mystery to her for most of the game's plot, which I can greatly appreciate. Besides that though, she really doesn't have that strong of an impressive character. Azura, you edged out because of the song. Next time, put some more work into your bulk if you want to live long enough to sing about how you're the ocean's great waves. Anyway, for number 8, we have Hinoka. Hinoka is personally my favorite royal in terms of personality, as she really doesn't come off as overbearing and is a rather faithful companion in your adventures. Hinoka also happens to be the sibling most affected by the events prior to the game, going as far to becoming a Sky Knight at 7 years old despite everything that was standing against her, just to save the Avatar on her own. The one thing I like to preach is willpower, and Hinoka certainly has that in spades. As far as the battlefield goes, she does alright. Her stats are average all around, not quite strong in anything but not quite weak in anything except for her physical defense. This makes her a pretty good option for dual attacks, thanks to her movement range and solid enough stats to make a difference. She may have spent all the time looking for you, but today Hinoka finds the number 8 spot. Number 7, Elise. Just like Azura did Sakura, Elise barely beats out Hinoka. While Hinoka is very headstrong and determined, Elise is simply this cute little ball of joy that just wants to see that you're alright. The little bundle of sunshine is very much attached to you, going as far as to shove Sakura away when she tries to call herself your sister. The slightly overbearing tone fits with the rest of the Nor family to a T, but in Elise's case, it's okay because all it is protective sisterly love. Not creepy perversion like your sister Camilla. As far as her battlefield presence goes, while she is stronger than Sakura in magic growths, her defenses are far worse. This leads to a glass cannon situation, and in Elise's case, it usually isn't worth the effort if you have a maid or Sakura around. Elise gets this spot on personality alone, and besides Takumi, is easily the strongest in that category. For number 6, I'm choosing Corrin. Corrin is rather interesting given his or her backstory, so let me break it down. This is where I'm going to jump into Revelation spoilers a bit, so if you don't want those, kindly click the box on the screen now to jump to the next part. Okay, that should be good. So, Corrin basically has baby daddy issues. Oh, you thought Garen was your father? Well, congrats. That was proven otherwise before you chose the pathway. Sumeragi? Try again. Well, who's left? Good question, Leo. It's Anikos. Yes, your father is none other than the Hydreigon ripoff himself, Anikos. This shouldn't come as a shock though, given that in Awakening the bad guy was also your father, and we've seen this trope ever since Star Wars. It's tried and true, but in Fates it has an advantage because unless you're playing Revelation specifically, you'll hardly see any mention of Anikos. Baby daddy issues aside, Corrin takes the spot simply due to his Yato. The Yato alone makes Corrin a very strong unit, given that it's the only one capable of doing any major damage on Anikos in the end, as well as giving Corrin damage numbers that almost get up to Effie's number. The fact that Corrin can also have a Dragonstone is also one of the tightest things ever for a main character because dragons beat any other animal, period. Overall, Corrin is a bit of a mystery of a character, though he or she should be given that they are the main character. It's this allure that puts him at number 6. At number 5, we have Leo. Thought that little tie-in was random, huh? Nope. Yes, at the middle of today's list is the horse-riding brainiac himself. Leo makes it this high on the list for sheer relatability, as even though I'm the oldest in my family, I've always felt the sort of inferiority complex looming over me. Something was pushing me to beat the standard set by something, but I could never figure out what. This personality ties very nicely into Leo, and what makes Leo a very nicely crafted character. He's one I'm always happy to see on the battlefield and one fighting alongside me. Speaking of fighting, Leo is a very well-rounded character, sporting even enough growths in HP, magic, speed, luck, and resistance. His defense may be slightly lacking, but as a dark mage, that's only to be expected. As a royal, Leo is very much fitting of his personality. He's capable on the battlefield and has a personality very befitting of royalty. That being said, I do prefer the remaining 4 royal characters. That's why Leo takes my number 5 spot. For number 4, I have chosen none other than Camilla. The remaining 4 slots were very difficult, but out of the remaining 4 characters, Camilla is the one I had the most trouble connecting to, mostly in part due to the fact that I am a guy and her personality is very, let's go with atypical. This definitely doesn't make her a bad character, as in my opinion she's one of the best characters in Fire Emblem Fates. It just makes her distant to me. Camilla, despite not having a personal weapon, is easily one of the hardest hitters in the game, and that's saying a lot considering Fates brings Ryoma and Effie to the table. She comes complete with a 65% strength growth while sporting 60% in speed, skill, and resistance. Her magic isn't terrible either, coming in at a 40% growth. This makes Camilla a capable offensive unit on both sides of the spectrum. Couple that with her high movement due to being a malignite, and she becomes a very strong force to be reckoned with. Her personal skill, Rose's Thorns, is also something to definitely write home about, letting nearby allies deal 3 more damage while receiving 1 less damage. Perfect for Ryoma and Effie to sweep the field. Overall, Camilla may not be my favorite in terms of personality, but she's definitely more of a fan service. That's why she takes my number 4 slot. Number 3 belongs to none other than the Crown Prince of Nor, Xander. While the top 4 are very close, I will concede that 3rd and 4th did come down to Camilla and Xander with one single deciding factor: personality. While Camilla is off trying to do everything for you, Xander actually feels like a standalone character, and a very interesting one at that. His interaction with King Garen is of particular notice. given the gooey muck monster Garen has become underneath that garish robe. Xander is one of the two characters that are massively influenced by which path you take, the other being Takumi. Personality aside, Xander is a pretty good character. Obviously as a paladin, he'll have good strength, sporting 65% growth. His main features, though, are his 55% HP growth and 75% luck growth, making him a unit that can not only move far, but can also clinch his way out of tough spots. With Xander discussed, we have two royals left, both hailing from Hoshido. Will number 1 be the Lobster Lord himself, Ryoma, or his emotional younger brother, Takumi? Number 2 is... drumroll please. I said drumroll, Elise! Ryoma. Yes, coming in at number 2 is the Lobster Lord. Just with Camilla and Xander, I had a really hard time choosing between Ryoma and Takumi. As with Camilla and Xander, it also came down to personality, because even though Ryoma isn't nearly as polarizing as Camilla, his personality doesn't fully resonate with me. That being said, he is a very cool individual, complete with a beautiful head of hair and an outfit that reminds me of both a lobster and a classic samurai. Where Ryoma becomes absolutely amazing though is on the battlefield, where he makes even the likes of Effie become a joke. As a swords master, I can easily say that Ryoma is the best of the series, sporting a sword with range on top of 60% HP, 55% strength, 65% skill, 65% speed, and 55% luck growths. What does that all mean? Ryoma will hit hard and hit often with plenty of crits and doubles. In addition, as a swords master, Ryoma has access to Astra, a skill that will be activating quite often with his high skill. Overall, Ryoma is an amazing character with only one downside. Personality aside, he's easily one of my favorite characters in Fire Emblem Fates. He's just superseded by our obvious number 1. Topping our list today is none other than the moody, fashionable Takumi. I'm just going to cut straight to the chase. Takumi is the very embodiment of what Fire Emblem Fates stands for. The aim of the game is quite simple. Showcase how lives can change from a simple decision. Butterfly effect, if you will. Takumi's personality in both Birthright and Conquest beautifully showcase this, though in ways I'll choose not to mention because spoilers. That being said, it's the sharp contrast between the two that reveal my points. One decision can either lead to healing or fragmentation, and Takumi is the pure embodiment of this. Takumi stands for more than just being a showboat for Fire Emblem Fates, however, for he is a pretty amazing archer as well. Sporting great growths in HP, strength, skill, speed, and luck, Takumi has all the tools he needs in order to be a great archer. Add this into his signature weapon, the Fujin Yumi, which has a great story to it on its own. Long story short, the bow is only useful if the wielder is completely and utterly focused, with the arrow and drawstring both vanishing should the wielder's concentration even remotely drop. It's this characteristic of the bow that truly makes me appreciate Takumi, and part of the reason why he takes number 1 on today's list. Thank you so much for watching, everyone! If you like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to see more upcoming content. If you'd like to see my latest video, which is a now outdated guide on how to play Pokemon Go because, reminiscing's fun, click on the box on the left, and to watch my ranking of the top 10 non-Royal Fire Emblem Fates units, click on the box on the right. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. This is Joeypals, signing out.